So my lighting for my Furls coffin just arrived last night. So I had quick put everything all together and I was kind of playing around with what color I want to have. I think this is going to be the best, especially for spooky season. So the first color obviously that I went to was red, but it was like the exact same color as my hair. So I kind of blended into the background. While I'm sitting here and crocheting, I think that's going to be my color. But while you and I are chit-chatting, this is probably the best. I did have a little bit extra, so it kind of spills over to my bookshelf over here too. I'm feeling really good about Halloween in the yarn dungeon. Everything is finally coming together. I'm slowly but surely getting all the pieces for decor up. I have my spooky little ghost nightlight up here too. That was actually my kitchen light for all of September, August, all the way back to June actually, because they had those things out really, really early. And I loved it up there, but we'll see where it actually ends up. For now, this is gonna be its little home here. But yeah, Furls, they have been releasing new crochet hooks on Friday recently, and they do have a little chit chat live where they chat on their YouTube channel about things that are coming up, like well into the future, things past the newsletter that you're going to get. So if you want to see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line what Furls has in store, that is the best place to go ahead and hear all that. So as soon as I saw that they were launching the new Maple Alpha crochet hook this morning, I immediately went to their live, which I'm over there anyway, just kind of hanging out. Even if I'm not in the chat, like I'm sitting there crocheting too. So if you're over there, say hi, hang out a little bit and see what Furls has in store. The Alpha hooks, we need to chat about these because they are completely different than anything that they have. The metal hooks, the streamlined resin hooks, totally different. The handle, the shape, the sizing, the length. So heading onto their site is the first thing right away on their page, introducing the Maple Alpha. And here's the introduction picture to the brand new crochet hook. Click on the button below, shop the Alpha, and it's going to take us to this entire series, of which there are 3 in total. So we've had in previous months the walnut, the cherry, and now the maple. And I think they did a fantastic job of launching the maple in October. Like, it just makes sense. It screams fall. Pictures that they have. Here's the first one. Scroll through. That one is probably my favorite because it says, hey, take these out, use them. And that was another thing that they were chatting about on their live is, do you use your alphas? Because I know a lot of people will get these as decor and not use them or travel with them. They're just so pretty. They are pieces of art. I will give that. However, they're my crochet hooks, so I use them and I do travel with them. Now, I have a travel case for them. Let me just show you 2 of my favorites that I have. When I'm out and about, I'm not going to just be throwing these in a tote bag. No, they have a specific case for them. Actually, where is that one case? They have a nice hard case, and that's normally what I go with. Okay, it's over here. So this one, this is my favorite because we have a lot of layers of protection. Like the whole thing is not only padded, but it's really hard. So worst case scenario, this goes into my tote bag and my tote gets thrown on the ground for some reason. Like it's going to protect everything. What do I have in here right now? Oh, my Immortal. Yeah. Immortal and the matte black metal, which is perfect because now I can show you comparison between all of them. This one just gives me total peace of mind, and that way I can do a couple of them. So it just slides right in there. Also, there is a little band that goes over top of it, so it's not going to move around once they are in here. And obviously there's a lot of room because the ones that are a little bit longer fit in there really well too, so they'll go down nice and far. Close that up and there you go. Now I don't even worry about it. And so yes, I do travel with mine. Obviously that's just me personally, like you're gonna do what you're gonna do with your crochet hooks. I do display mine when I'm not traveling with them or working with them because they're just so freaking pretty. So I have a couple of different ones. This one was really, really fun. We have a couple of different colors of wood all put together. So normally I'll go through and pick like my favorite size. So either a 5mm, 5.5, or do we have a 4mm? That's interesting. Yes, we do. This goes from a 4mm crochet hook. Oh, wow. All the way up to a 15mm crochet hook. So we have 12 different sizes in this maple alpha. We have all the way from making some socks to a big chunky blanket. You got options with this line. So the weight is approximately 0.5 ounces. The diameter is going to be very similar to all the other ones because we have this ergonomic handle right here. So a 16 to a 17 millimeter at its widest spot, which is right here. But the length and the handle, that is going to be the main difference that you're going to see. I know a lot of people really like the shorter length and find that the streamline resins are just a little bit too long for them, or like their hands kind of inch up a little bit on it. If that's the case for you, then the alphas would be good because, I mean, again, right there, you see it is significantly shorter than the streamline resins. And then obviously the streamline metal, because those are pretty much the same length as the streamline resin. And it rests a little bit differently on my hand too. So here is the alpha one, just for comparison. That's how it feels comfortable on my hand. And then compared to the streamline resin, there is a little bit of an overlay right there. So this is going to actually rest on my hand where this goes over my hand. The biggest size crochet hook that I have in the alpha is a 6 millimeter, significantly smaller than some of the sizes they have available now. So I am interested to see how I like the fit and feel with the length of this hook and the bulky type of yarn, because if I'm using a 12 or a 15 millimeter crochet hook, normally I'm making a blanket, which means I'm going to have a lot of yarn on me. It's going to be a very big project and I'm going to be working on it for a little while compared to even with a 6. I mean, that's a go-to size for things like beanies. These smaller ones I do my crochet socks with. Obviously, that's a much smaller project that I'm working on. I do really enjoy the design, not only from just like it's really, really pretty, but I like the feel of this. It's incredibly smooth, the wood and how they have it all kind of worked up together when it's laying on my hand, and it's really light. What is the size again? Okay, it's 0.5. So let's compare it to the metal hooks because that is my go-to, and lately the metal hooks have been on pretty much any and all of my projects that I have going on right now. So what do we weigh? 1.6 to 2.4 ounces. That is a huge difference between this. So again, let's grab that metal one. Crazy difference right there. So yeah, I have 3 or 4 different blankets going with this one right now. So if I were to switch over to a blanket and use this one, there's going to be some changes that go on between the two. The thing that I love about this, even though they are completely different than any other hook that they have on their site, the ergonomics is still there. So the fact and the reason why I love Furls crochet in the first place is because they are designed for healthy and happy hands. You want to crochet as long as you can and you don't want to cause pain. The alpha hooks, I will say, and I mean, obviously this might change as I get the bigger sizes. I do love it with things like wool and cotton. That's predominantly what I use them with. The 6 millimeter, I did use a little bit with acrylic because I did beanies and scarves last winter. The streamline resin and the metal ones, they do come with their own boxes. This one is a little bit different. So I grabbed one of the previous lines that I've gotten from the Alpha series, and it's a really pretty box. There is a lot of packaging in here to make sure that it has a safe ride from the warehouse to your yarn dungeon. And also, I keep these boxes. Even though I have storage for them and I use them all the time, I mean, it's a beautiful box, so I'm going to keep it. If you wanted to display it, you could just have it in there like that. Maybe have like a little shelf thing or like one of those pen displays. That is actually the perfect size for the Furls crochet hooks. Definitely don't throw this box away because it's just really pretty. It's just part of the entire Alpha series. Compare our hooks. That would be a great little resource to go to if you've never used these Alpha hooks before. I know that you and we just chit-chatted about it, but if you want to see every Furls crochet hook they have there, I mean, I just did it to the streamline resin and the streamline metal because those are pretty much my day-to-day crochet hooks and how they compare to those two, but they do have a lot of different hooks on there as well. We have the Alpha series, the streamline metal, the streamline resin, streamline wood. I didn't even chat about those ones. How do they compare? The size, the length, everything like that. It's all in one place, which makes it obviously a lot easier because you don't have to go to that specific hook size. Just go to this series, compare it all together, and see if the alphas are something that you'd be interested in using. So let me know what you think about the new Maple Alpha series, and also what size are you most interested in? Are you interested in the jumbo size hooks like me, or have you already tried the alphas and you know that a 4mm works perfectly, especially with the type of yarn that you use? Like, that's your go-to, tried and true. I totally get that either way, but I am still gonna try the 15. We're gonna see how that works up. So when that arrives, we're gonna make a day out of it and see how it works up. So that is it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me again, chit-chatting about Furls' new Alpha Maple Edition. Have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you in my next video.